Okay, so welcome back. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the idea of the shifting, okay, the transformations of shifts or translations, some texts call it, but vertical shift or horizontal shift. But translation is another term that's used in textbooks. So now here's the general idea, okay? So the if we look at shifts of a basic function, in this case we're talking about a parent function of b to the x, okay? So I wrote the general case where we have both a vertical shift and a horizontal shift in the same function going on, okay? So we could have b to the x plus or minus some c constant, and then we could have outside the function some plus or minus d constant. And so we could have both shifts going on. It's common, and and so we have to deal with those. So if I had a parent function that looked like this, and we wanted to graph this using transformations, using what we know about the basic function, the toolbox function I call it, which is just b to the x. And so assume in this case that these constants are both positive, okay? So the four-step thing that you do is the first thing you want to do is draw the horizontal asymptote, okay? So based on what kind of shifting is going on, in this case, if it's a vertical shift, then yes, you would move the horizontal asymptote up if it's positive d. If you're adding d, then you would move the horizontal asymptote up d units. If it's a subtraction, then you would move it down d units. Okay, so there's that, and then also you want to make sure that you adjust the draw the horizontal asymptote first. Okay, now then what you want to do is identify the horizontal shift that's going on. That comes from here, the c. Okay, so if you're adding a positive constant, then you're moving to the left, c units. If you are subtracting a positive constant, then you are moving to the right. Okay, and so keep that in mind. So once you identify the vertical shift and identify what the horizontal shift is, then you do those corresponding shifts, right? Using the basic function. Or those 3 points, right? If you know those 3 points that the basic function always goes through. Okay? 0, 1, 1b, 0, comma 1, 1, comma b, or negative 1, comma 1 divided by b. Okay? And so you can always use those 3 points as your starting block, and then move those 3 points according to the horizontal and vertical shifts. Then once you do that, once you graph that, right? Once you do the shifts, then you graph it, and then the fourth step is shift the domain, the range, and the horizontal asymptote as necessary. Well, I guess this is redundant, but that's what you do. So in the next video, we're going to do an example, and you'll see it in action. See you then.